Welcome to Hit the Bricks Live, your number one podcast for horror movie news, with Lee McCoy from Drum Dums, Nick Miller from the Lost River Drive-In, and Davey Death Ray. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hit the bricks, Dorothy.
Welcome
Hey
to
everyone.
Yeah. This man, it feels like it's been, we were just talking about this. It feels like it's been forever. I think it had to be like before Thanksgiving, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Our last one.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Because didn't you guys do one in December when I was in Florida?
I think so. Yeah, and we didn't call it Hit the Bricks, but yeah. I had Davey just on DD Live, but wow, man, this is I'm nervous. I feel like I haven't done.
Don't be nervous.
That's a good icebreaker. I do have I don't know if you call it anxiety or whatever, but it's like I've been doing this for 11 years now this month. I still get nervous before every stream. Like because it's not a controlled environment, I think. And when I'm doing pre-produced type stuff, yeah, I could do that all day. That's easy. I can pause it. But like right now, I'm breathing heavy, you know? Do you guys ever get that? Davey?
I do. I get it every time. I think it's one of those things that's a healthy, pre-game jitters kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I got it when I played music. It's just, I think what it is like that little bit of like survival instinct you have that's just like, make this one the best one you can. It's just that little bit of pressure you put on yourself to perform. But I feel relatively comfortable live, but always have nerves going into it. And I'm a mess when it comes to pre-recorded stuff. I'm getting better, but I'm a lot more comfortable live.
Bro, so you're like the opposite of me when it comes to like I'm nervous with live. It's funny you're talking about like being in a band. I've been in a few bands myself, and I remember we did a gig at like it was called the Loring Club. This was in Korea. And I mean, it was packed. I mean, and this was our first gig. And there were people outside. It was a club. It was like a nightclub. And there were people like outside the door, and we can get everybody in. And I'm like, this is my first fucking gig. And dude, I am like nervous like you wouldn't believe. And I remember the first song is like double speed because I'm just like, oh man, it was nuts. Nick, how are you doing, brother? I just heard you got some bad news.
It's all right. I've been talking about it for months on my channel about how I'd had stomach issues and I needed to see a GI doc, and I'm glad I did, because basically the GI doc told me today, like, hey, if you don't get your diet and certain things under control, you're at high risk for colon cancer. And I was like, all right, so that's a wake-up call that I needed. So I've started the process of like, I'm going to go to the store like a normal adult and buy healthy stuff and, not die, hopefully. Not yet, at least. And so, but then as far as what you were asking about, like getting nervous, dude, I watch it back sometimes. UNITA specifically, like sometimes I'll watch parts of it back, and I'll see myself kind of bouncing around. And like, I don't know if anybody ever notices it. I'm literally always like, I'm bouncing my knees right now. And I have ADHD. Yeah. So like, that's just part of it. But the fact that it's not a controlled environment, I don't know if I'm necessarily nervous about like talking to people, but it's more so about like what's going to be said. And I think a couple weeks ago, somebody like doxed me in a live stream. And then they came into my comment section and they doxed Christian. It was the same person.
Wow.
And he actually he doxed you too, Lee, in my comment section. He's like, I've got you and Lee and Christian's addresses and blah, blah, blah. And I reported it to YouTube and I was like, this is illegal. So yeah, that stuff is weird. And so part of the reason why I don't stream a lot, because you never know what's going to be said. But dude, when I was in high school, I was in choir. And that was because I just took an elective because I had like all my credits my senior year aside from government, and you couldn't take government until senior year. So like, I was like, I'll do choir. And my choir teacher, Mrs. Baker, love her to death. She was like, she made me have a solo every single time, every concert. She's like, you're doing a solo in this song. And I'm like, okay. But like, doing those solos, even though I was in bands as a singer, as a teenager, every time I got up on stage in front of hundreds of people, I kind of just blacked out, dude. Like it's like,
that's a good teacher though.
Dude, you're like sweating and your stomach is in knots. And I would just close my eyes and like do what I had to do. And then I'd walk back to like where everybody else was. I'm like, all right, I'm done. So yeah, no, I still get jitters like that about a lot of things. I don't do well public speaking.
You want to hear something embarrassing? And maybe this is part of the reason why I have public speaking anxieties, because I remember I was in, I think, 2nd grade. I still remember this. And for some reason, I can go into my own little world, especially when I was that age. Maybe it was ADHD, I don't know, but I started humming, and I didn't realize I was humming. I was humming some kind of song or something in my head, and it was so loud that the whole class heard it, and I didn't even realize I was humming. And the teacher heard me humming, and so she says, "Hey, Lee," and I like deer in the headlights. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And she goes, "Come up to the front of the class," and I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And so I go up to the front of the class, and she says, "Whatever you were humming, I want you to turn and face the class, and I want you to hum it to everybody right now."
That's abuse.
And, dude, and I did it. It was brutal. I was so scared, man. I was just sitting there in front of the class going,
Dude, Lee, I'd have looked that teacher straight in the face and been like, absolutely not. Then
yeah,
the office.
Well, because it sounds like you were doing it as like a self-soothing kind of thing, right? So sometimes we don't know about those things. Even Nick, I do the same thing with my knees, not all the time, but I catch myself doing it. And like I used to clench my jaw and shit like that. And it's like, try.
Well, you're talking about the knees. I just want to say, when we were in Florida, we were in the rental car, and I guess I was bouncing my legs, and my brother was sitting next to me, and we were at a red light, and the car was like shaking, and he like turned to me, and he's like, "Is that you?" I was like, I guess so. Like, oh, my bad.
And you're like, "I'm sorry, guys. I just need to tell you about my best Halloween DVD finds. I need to do something. I need to talk to you guys about that now."
No, I guess I don't know what it is, man. They tried to put me on ADHD medication when I was 13, because I feel like a lot of parents try that because they're like, "Oh, something's wrong with my kid. Let's do the medication route." Dude, it didn't work. And to my mom's credit, after like 2 weeks of taking it, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. And she was like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that." So my kid's definitely got it too. Super high energy, but he's never going to be. I don't agree with medicating people for that kind of stuff. You know, like it's just, I don't know. It's part of who you are. Okay. So deal with it.
Sometimes I think we forget, like when we become adults, like, of course, this is something that can be diagnosed by professionals, but also when we become adults, we're like, man, that kid has a lot of energy. And it's like, that's what it was like. We we've forgotten what it's like. Robin Williams in Hook, like he forgot he was Peter Pan. Like we forgot that once we were like that too. And so, you know, it's all about redirecting the energy, using it in a positive way, all that kind of stuff. Lee, I actually had a teacher in 5th grade. We had an assignment to memorize like a 12-line poem. Everyone fucking failed in my 5th grade class. And my teacher, Mr. Bauer, who was known for being like a total fucking hard ass, like you did not want to see your name underneath his name when they announced like the classes. And of course, that's who I got. I mean, fitting. Yeah. But everyone failed this assignment, and he was like, "All right, for the rest of the year, you guys have to do this every single week, and I'm going to increase the lines that you have to memorize." Jesus. So at one point, we're having to memorize like 30-some line poems. And I'm like, if anything, that helped me writing and remembering music, and then just being able to like perform, you know, at will in front of people. So thank you, Mr. Bauer. I'm happy you're such a curmudgeon.
Well, over the last 2 months, anything crazy go on in you guys' life? Anything big that you felt like you needed to get out? Or I mean, I got something, but I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah, I guess I should say, a lot of you guys that follow any of us on social media, you probably know, for a multitude of reasons, why we hadn't really gotten together for a while. It was kind of a series of unfortunate events. Honestly, like in December, when we were planning to do something, my grandma passed away, and then I went to Florida to be a part of that. And Lee, I know you're going to talk about it. Obviously, this is the first time I've been, you know, virtually in person with you to obviously offer my condolences about Levi too. So it was like, you know, I lost someone close to me, you know, Lee lost someone. And if you're an animal person, you're an animal lover like I am, and I know all the three of us are, that's a member of your family, man. So like, there's just kind of a series of events that kind of got in the way of us all kind of getting together. So yeah.
Well, I can say I've never experienced like true grieving, because both my parents are alive. My sister's alive. So I just remember after Levi passed, and we knew it, you know, I talked to you guys about it, how Levi was in diapers. I think the last time we streamed, I told you Levi was in diapers. So it's like, I guess the lesson here is you can't prepare yourself, even though you think you can prepare yourself and you think it's going to be okay. Levi passed in my wife's arms, and we were literally on the way to the vet because he started having, he passed out, and he was like hyperventilating really bad. It was just heartbreaking. And then I was like, just get him in the car. Let's just get him to the vet. And then halfway to the vet, dude, he just freaking, like, his body just limp in my wife's arms. And we're both, I mean, just bawling our eyes out. So there's that initial reaction, but then you don't know what your body's going to do over the next few days when you're grieving somebody, and you can't control it. And I would like, I shut down. I couldn't even like think. And I would just break down crying. I would literally, we had Levi cremated, by the way. And I would literally just, I have Levi on like a dresser, and I would literally sit on the floor for like 30 minutes and just talk to him after he had passed, and just bawling my eyes out. And I would be apologizing to him because you always feel like you failed. I'm like, this is a pet. And I never knew that a pet could have, but Levi was with us for 15 years. And
they love you unconditionally, man. They don't judge you.
That's it, Nick.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Nick, when I got on here, I was like, I'm going to ask Nick, how is Zeke doing?
He, you know, he's a little shit. And I say that, I say that in the most endearing way. He'll be 14 in 3 months. But you know, we had that episode last year where I actually have photos on my phone the night before I took him to the vet where he's just kind of laying on my back. And I was crying, and you can see it in the photos because I thought the next day they were going to tell me like, hey, you know, we're going to have to put him down. So we had that fiasco about almost $1,000 later, and, you know, a lot of stress later, but he's fine now. He's back to himself, and the vet told me all his organs are good. You know, he should live, you know, a lot of these cats can live between 15 and 20. So he should have some years left. So I'm happy about that. He pisses me off sometimes, man. He really does.
Levi did too. Levi really, I mean, he would, like, especially those last few months, he would constantly, he couldn't hold his bladder. So he would just like piss on the floor. And I every time he would have a drink of water, and he always wanted to drink water in those last few months, he would pee almost immediately after. So I had to like get him out. I was like, you little fucker. It was tough, but you know, I've been telling everybody with pets ever since Levi passed away, please, please, please don't take them for granted. Hug that pet as much as you can, because I would give anything to be able to hold Levi one more time and just talk to him with him licking my face. But I will say, a couple weeks later, we did get Lulu. She's down there right now. And
I was going to say,
Lulu is a miniature schnauzer, just like Levi. We said we're not getting another pet. I cannot go through this again. That's what we said after we went through the grieving. And then you go home to an empty house over and over and over again. And so then that's just killing you inside. So then all of a sudden Lulu just kind of popped up on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And it was a miniature schnauzer. She's 15 months old. She was born on the 13th. Levi passed on the 13th. I was like, oh my God, I think we have to give this dog a home.
Yeah.
She's been great. She's been really great.
And you're never going to replace them. That's not the point. But, you know, when you're an animal person and an animal has become part of your household, I feel like it's always therapeutic to get another one. You know, it's like, and we also have to accept, you know, as we get older, and like, you know, it's just like they're not around as long as us. So, I hate to say it. I'm like, oh yeah, when Zeke dies, I don't know if I'm getting another cat. I will.
Nick, hug her every chance you get, because Lulu's given us a lot. I'm telling you, it's like a healer. What do you call it? like a therapy animal or something like that. That's what she's been. And I swear to God, I don't know if you guys believe in like afterlife and all that stuff, but sometimes I feel like Levi is talking to me through her. It's weird. It's weird. So
Oh, I definitely believe in something, man. We've never had that conversation on here, but I can just say that, like, don't they say that like energy cannot be created nor destroyed? So like we got to go somewhere. Something's got to happen. Now you might think you turn into a tree, or you might think there's an otherworldly realm, whatever it is. I think we're all going somewhere, personally.
Yeah.
It's a transference of power. It's just like when Michael looks into Corey Cunningham's eyes and transfers.
What a great movie, Halloween Ends, right?
Yes.
It's just everybody loves it too. That's what I love about that movie. It's
I had to get in a Halloween comment.
That'll make everybody happier when we talk about ends.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think the cool thing with like pets and everything, it's like, you know, it is sad to close that chapter and everything, but it's an opportunity to give another animal like all of that love that you have. And it's really cool to be able to provide that same kind of experience for another little creature that who knows, you know, if they would get the same kind of love that they're getting from you. Yeah, I really miss my cats. Like when I got divorced, my ex like went totally bonkers and wouldn't have a conversation with me about that. So I would have had to like drag her through court for this thing that really should have just been a conversation between two mature adults. But she wasn't willing to have it. And that's the most heartbreaking thing for me when I think about that chapter of my life is like, I'm going to miss those cats forever. I still dream about them and everything. So
I had the inverse of that, Davey, and I'm honestly kind of glad we got Kylo. Yes, after Kylo Ren, that's why we named him that. And we got him like right after we moved in together because she wanted a kitten. And we got him off, I think, Craigslist, and we saved him from where he was. Went to go pick him up. This cat was covered in fleas and was like emaciated, and he was a baby. And now he is huge and fat, and but he was Brooke's cat. And when we separated, she left him here, and she tried to spin it as like, oh, well, him and Zeke are really close and I didn't want to separate them. In reality, it was she didn't want to have any animals at her apartment. I didn't care though, because I was like, he's kind of become my cat. So it's honestly probably better he stayed here. So I still got that fat boy. He's only 7. So I worry about how that's going to go when Zeke goes, because they are like, they're inseparable. They're two peas in a pod. But
Lulu, she's on cloud 9 right now because she was living in a garage in a crate every night. And because I guess the previous owner, she's a yapper, and they had a baby, but you know, it just broke my heart. This dog who was just like, and she was alone all the time. And so now her life is like completely opposite. She's never she's in our house constantly 24/7. And she, you can tell when a dog's happy, and she is just, it's like night and day. We gave her, a good bath and everything. It's always nice when you kind of rescue an animal, like it's like bringing them some happiness because they're living in, I don't want to.
You got it. Well, because you have to imagine. I mean, you're absolutely right, dude. I look at Kylo's situation. I'm like, if we wouldn't have gotten him, he probably would have died. Like he would have been malnourished and he would have died. And now he's gotten to live 7 years and be fat and happy, and he'll probably live another 7 or 8. So, it's like
after Levi, dude, and I've always been an animal lover, but after Levi, I get like really upset when people abuse animals like 10 times more now. And, like I saw this video the other day where they got this golden retriever in the car, and they're on the interstate, and they open the door and they let the dog out. And luckily a family, they literally picked up the dog on the interstate and said, we're keeping this dog because I cannot let this dog just go off on its own. And the dog was heartbroken for like a week because it was attached to and I'm like, that motherfucker. I wanted to freaking reach through my computer and I wanted to punch the dude in the face because
these people do crazy stuff. They'll like tape up kittens in a box and throw it in a dumpster. Like, you are the biggest piece of like that is you. So you don't even have the heart to do what you know is going to happen. Like, what's going to happen to those kittens or whatever kind of creature it is. And you don't have I don't even know if I want to call it guts because it makes it sound like a good thing, but you can't just take care of it like the way that you want to. You got to go some extra chicken shit way to do it instead of just giving this animal the opportunity to go find a home somewhere.
That's how Christian ended up with Iggy. He's got tons
a
of
lot
dogs.
Of pets, doesn't he?
Last year, Iggy showed up on his doorstep, and he was like, oh, we don't need another dog. We can't do
but
this.
you can't turn them away.
And a week later, Iggy's a part of the family. You know, it's like, you can't do it.
I get it. I guess we can transfer. We can switch up places over to. I can't talk today. Words are hard. Stranger Things. All right, Stranger Things season 5. Davey, your channel's gotten a little bit of an uptick because of Stranger
Holy
Things. Am I
crap.
right on that?
Man, the Stranger Things people have been so awesome to the channel. You know, I've been covering, I just watched seasons 3 and 4 for the very first time before season 5 came out, like literally finished season 4, I think the day before season 5, you know, was dropping that first batch of episodes. And yeah, I've been covering on the channel. It's been okay. But when that whole conformity gate thing went down, my moderator, Erica, was like, dude, you should jump on a live and just talk about this thing because everyone's talking about it.
That was a smart move.
I jumped on a live and got like 700 people that were watching the stream at the same time. It was bonkers.
Wow.
And then I turned off the stream and it was at like 25,000 views, which is like, for my tiny little channel, it's just incredible. So I've seen a nice little bump. We're going to be doing something really fun on Friday during a live stream. I've put a bunch of polls on my channel and we're just going to be doing like a fan made choose your own adventure, like rewrite of the finale. It's not meant to be anything serious or trying to replace what is actually there.
It's the real conformity gate.
It is just going to be, you know, a fan made, like we're actually going to have some stakes, you know, there are 0 stakes in season 5, unfortunately. So we're going to do a couple of those things and it's not going to be as happy of an ending, but yeah, it's been amazing seeing the bump. I think clearly that fan base is passionate about that show that they all love, and whether or not people love or kind of, you know, feel midway or hate the, you know, season 5, I still think the show is, you know, amazingly successful and one of the best examples of modern television. So I think they could have consolidated the story, and I felt like season 5 should have been like an easy homer every step of the way, like home run, home run, home run. But they kind of struggled, I think, a little bit. If you saw the documentary, you know why. So
yeah,
I'll say that about Stranger Things.
I mean, I didn't watch the documentary. My opinion, because I watched it too, and I do feel like it was a step down from seasons. You know what though? Not all the seasons are like equal. Like I think 1 and 4 are the best seasons, right? Chat, let me know what you guys think. 1 and 4, I think, are the best seasons, but I still have fun with 2 and 3. I thought 5 was definitely. It felt like they were trying. Okay, we got to wrap this thing up, but we don't necessarily have the best script in place to do it. I do think there were some strong moments, like especially when Will, that first moment when Will, like, what would you call that? When his eyes get all white and he's
bro, fucking sorcerer, bro.
Yeah. When he turns into freaking, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons sorcerer, dude. I was like, that's one of the coolest freaking moments of the show right there. I wish I would have had more of that because they only did it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But you know, that's you know what, and I'll say the Will coming out scene, being completely honest, I thought it was one of the more strong moments of the season, honestly, because it made sense in the grand scheme of things. You know, it fit in with the actual plot. So I thought they handled it.
It was one of the things that actually did fit in with the plot. God,
it did.
You know what? Fucking Nancy and Jonathan in the room filling up with the stuff for like 10 or 15 minutes or whatever the hell. Like the season had way too much of that. And then so when you get to the Will scene, which is integral to the story and something that they've been leading up to for years now,
I teared up.
It felt to me it almost felt like an afterthought, because I'm like, dude, this moment should be way bigger, but we've been wasting so much time to get here that I thought the moment could have had a bigger impact if I wasn't so bored by the time we got there. But I was so bored. I mean, those first 7 episodes, it's like 10 hours of TV that could have been consolidated. The storytelling could have been consolidated in like half that time. They really dragged things out. And the documentary basically shows that not only did they not know what to do with 11 when they started writing the season, they didn't even have the back half of the season written. They didn't have a finished script when they went into production on these episodes. So that's problematic. It makes me think maybe the Duffers' hearts really weren't in it on this last season, because they had $480 million and like years to make this. So it should have been done the right way, you know?
I'm trying Sadie Sink, Max. like Max to me is like a high point of the show, but I felt like they almost didn't know what to do with her as well. And then you got that scene with her and Holly, which I actually like Holly. But then in this, everybody talks about this scene. You got the door right there. Max has got to go. She's been like, peace out, high five, and then run.
Yes.
But instead, we got to have a podcast for like 30 minutes before I actually run to, which that gate might close, by the way. But I don't know. Nick, what are your thoughts on the on season 5? And I guess give me your overall thoughts on the series in general.
Well, I mean, I was like everybody else back in 2016 when it premiered, and I was like, I'll give this thing a chance. And dude, I fell in love with that thing. I mean, I remembered waiting for season 2 to come out at midnight, and it didn't show up. And I was like, what the hell? And then I was like, oh my God, it's midnight Pacific time. So I stayed up till 3 a.m. so I could watch the first episode of season 2. I had to be at work at 8 a.m. the next day.
That's good.
Season 3, I hadn't moved in with my ex-wife yet, but we were together. She told me not to watch it until we could watch it together. I watched the whole thing in a day and a half and lied to her. And oh yeah, dude, I was not waiting, especially with Stranger Things. The internet would spoil it. Yeah, I mean, it's a show that's been a part of my life for a decade, and I loved the thing. I mean, I really did. Season 5 for me, I still think the peak of the show is season. I mean, a lot of people I have a lot of love for season 1, but I feel like as the world got larger in some ways, it actually became better. Season 3 is peak 80s. It's colorful. It's got great needle drops. Like I love 3 and 4. 4 is my favorite season. Season 3 is probably my second favorite. Yeah, 4 was like every episode was a movie in and of itself. And I think that the finale of 4 and the finale of volume 1 of 4, The Massacre at Hawkins Lab, those are probably the 2 best episodes of the show ever. So season 5, I mean, I was stoked for. I like both you guys, there were moments in volume 1 where I was kind of like, I didn't like the time jump. The ending of season 4 had me thinking we were getting right into apocalyptic shit. And the time jump made it like not really a thing. Oh, we put some, steel over this shit and like everything's fine. And I'm like, well, I get it. Cause you want to have these more character moments and you want to have things seem like relatively normal before it falls apart again. Cause that's the Stranger Things formula. But I didn't think it really worked at that point. Jonathan and Nancy should have died in that episode. I will maintain that they should have died together. I didn't think the fight was long enough with the Mind Flayer and Vecna, but I understand why they did it because they wanted, I would say, half of that episode to be wrapping up the show. Like they really wanted to give most of that to the epilogue. I guess my issue with that is I think in as a whole, they wrote themselves into a corner saying this is a 5-season arc. It didn't have to be. If you felt like there was more to tell and more to stretch out, maybe you do 6 seasons. I get the memes were everywhere about, oh, these kids are in their fucking 30s now, which they're not, but I get the memes. Like, who cares? Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. You're bought in if you're bought in at this point. If you need to do another season because you have more story, go for it. But overall, that being said, I did think there was some super high moments in season 5, and I still would say there's not a bad season of this show. I think even the weakest season is still good television. Like you say what you want about the Mind Flayer turning into a kaiju. I actually dug it. Like I was like, that's pretty cool. How are you going to fight smoke? Everybody's like,
when you step back from the whole show and look at that scene, it's still a cool action scene at the end of the day. Yeah.
And I actually almost died inside when I thought Steve was about to die because I was like, nah, you can kill anybody else, but you kill Steve, we're done. But I liked it. Like you said, though, the sorcerer moment at the end of volume 1 to end the first volume of this season on that, I was like, holy shit. Like that was awesome. Yeah. And that was the Duffers delivering on a promise they'd made years ago that season 5 was going to strongly feature Will. It started with him and it'll end with him. And to have volume 1 end that way, I was like,
Will's my favorite character, I think.
Well, I like Will a lot too. I don't have any issues. I know I got people bitch about Noah, whatever. I don't really care about all that, but I did find the internet's explosion over like the coming out scene weird because a lot of people were memeing like he said, I like girls, not I'm gay. And it's like, guys, if you go back and watch these seasons, they did that on purpose because there's a moment in season 3 where Mike and Will are fighting, and Mike says to him, "It's not my fault you don't like girls." And then Will has this weird look.
Yeah, of course.
They literally
little sprinkles throughout the whole thing.
But those specific words, that phrase, that verbiage was on purpose. And so like I didn't mind it either. You know, whatever. I thought it made sense.
But you know,
funny
why
that it is funny that Murray and Kali are there and they don't even like know Will. Like that like that's the stuff that cracks me up when it's like everyone in the room and some of them are like, who's this guy?
I love Karen.
Oh my God, dude. Don't even get me started. When I went back and watched season 3, I was like, yo, Billy, I totally get it, bro. I would have too.
Oh my God.
I'd have met up with her at Motel 6 and but
that scene with her and the freaking when she's going at it with one of the Demogorgons. It's got the hair wet and everything.
It was, you know? I guess my question for you guys about that season is, where do you stand on the ending for Elle? I personally, my opinion is that that's just how Mike is making himself feel better. She's dead.
Yeah. I think so too. I think you're right. I think
she's dead.
You could say it's a choose your own adventure type thing, which is kind of a cop out, but I don't mind it because I agree with Nick. I think she is. Didn't the Duffer Brothers state that she's actually dead too?
They basically said it's the point of the ending was that, you know, like you essentially that you can choose your own adventure. Happiness is it was a long word salad of basically being like, we're not going to give you a definitive answer.
Yes. It's them saying we have zero conviction. What do you think? We are writers and creators? No.
Which is crazy because some of the best episodes of the show were written by the Duffers. Like some of the best, the Massacre at Hawkins Lab, that was the Duffers, written and directed by them. That's a fantastic episode. So again, I
don't know.
In that documentary.
Sorry, go ahead, Davey.
I was just going to say, in the documentary, one of the first things that they get into are the two Duffers trying to figure out what to do with 11, because they're like, well, everyone's going to assume that she dies. So if we have that happen, then everyone's going to have guessed it. Now, if we have her live, then everyone's going to be like, oh, she's just living because they thought we were going to kill her. I always figured at the end of the series, like, she's got to go. And that's one of the things that they set up well enough, like with Kali's character. I was like, okay, we're going to have a Terminator 2 ending here, where the only way to make sure that this project doesn't get started by another like militant group or scientific group is to end it, like get rid of all of Henry's blood. So it's like in T2 when Arnold puts himself in the molten magma, you know, that Elle is basically going to say like, I'm closing the program kind of thing. Yeah. And that it meant that everyone else was actually going to be able to, you know, have a chance at peace.
They soft launched it at the end of season 1 when we thought that Elle was dead. Before the, you know, the ego thing at the very end of season 1, from that moment, I always knew like she's gonna have to die when this is over.
I wish I could have been in every season because I was an extra in season 1 and season 2, and I've never really talked about this like in detail or anything. But people always ask me all the time, "What was it like to be an extra in Stranger Things?" Remember, the first season, I was an extra like 6 months before the show came out. And because I was in like this circuit where, you know, you're like an email system and they send you all emails, hey, there's extra work. And I would get like all these different shows. Why I said, because I always said no to everything just because I had a day job. For some reason, I don't know why I said yes to Stranger Things, because it wasn't Stranger Things at the time. It was nothing. And for some reason, I think I was just off and I was like, I'll go do this. Why not? So I went and everybody's like in lab coats because it was the day when they were doing like lab coats and whatnot. And I was actually in a lab coat. And then I'm waiting for like what feels like freaking 8 hours. And I'm like, I'm not going to be in a scene. The very last like shot that they were doing, they're okay, hey, you and you come with me. And it was me and this other guy. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And so me and the other guy, I'm wearing the lab coat. He's wearing the sweater. We get into this dark room. And then Hopper is in there, and he's talking to one of the suit guys and his deputy. They said, you know what? You two switch places. Give him the lab coat right at the last second. I was like, oh, okay. So I gave the other guy the lab coat, and they moved me in front of the camera. So I'm literally I'm pushing the fast forward button on the VCR with Hopper just standing right behind me, and I'm like scared shitless. But I'm like, that's cool. And so then I ended up getting in season 2 because I'm in the email system. And then they sent me an email for season 3, but I think we had like PCS somewhere else at the time. So I didn't get to, but I think if I would have done season 3, more people on would have known me and they would have kept putting me in every season. And I would have loved that, but
they should have brought you back for the finale.
I know, dude. I should have.
The finale needed something. It needed some.
I should have jumped in and like in front of Elle, and then like did some kind of sorcery shit on the mind flare, and then destroyed it myself. That would have been cool.
There you go, man. I wanted with that battle scene. I wanted so badly for the fight to like go all over the monster. Like I wanted. How cool would it have been if like Vecna and 11 like literally fly up to like the back of the beast and fight on the kaiju? Like, yeah, that's, I want some like epic, like crazy Zelda Breath of the Wild kind of shit. It did feel really abbreviated. It ultimately like it kind of felt like the Kill Bill Volume 2 fight, you know, where you've this epic build up and then you get to that fight and you're like, oh, that was it. Damn.
I guess
and
the
it was a
only
layup
way
and an assist.
The only way that I can basically, I'm okay with it largely. I do wish it was longer, but like I look back on season 4 and the fight in season 4 is really long. So it's a very, very long, like the damn near half the episode of the finale of 4 is Vecna v 11. So I was like, okay, we have seen that already. Now also too, they're telekinetic. So it's like what, you know, it's not like they were limited in probably what you can do in fights. Like, I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm going to hold my hand out. I'm going to throw you. I'm going to throw you. So like, I looked at it. I was like, okay, yeah, I did see an extended fight in the last season, but I still felt like if not Vecna, the Mind Flayer fight specifically should have been longer. That thing was absolutely massive and was the big bad of this entire series. And I did like one decision that they made that I really loved in season 5 was they did not give Henry a redemptive arc. When he had that moment where he was like, no, we are one. I was like, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, that would have been about, I mean, they already were really soft in this 5th season. That would have been like super soft to be like, no, now he's a good guy. You know,
he killed a bunch of people, but we forgive him now. Like,
but the kaiju is great. I felt like the scope and the size, like the way that they animated the creature and everything, like it was really cool. To me, it doesn't make any sense that like none of our main characters got killed during that battle. That is a perfect time to knock off a couple of them and just increase the stakes and increase the emotion, because a lot of the emotion that this show went for in season 5 is people looking at each other and talking, and that I'm supposed to feel something from that. Now, the emotion that like resonates more with me is like, show me something, you know, and man, Eddie's death in season 4 is the biggest gut punch in the entire show. And it's not in the final season. So
that's like the one guy they didn't want to die, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone loves Eddie.
And not to say that you're ever going to outdo it, because people did fall in love with that character. But man, they could have tried something in season 5 to like make us feel. They only get rid of, you know, they kill off Kali. Like, okay, it's not like I hate her, but she's not one of our mains. Like, she's not super consequential to what we've been going through as an audience, you know? So I felt like, I didn't want Steve to die, protect him at all costs. But I don't know, certain characters, it just seemed like they could have, Jonathan, Nancy.
Well, I saw some complaints like, why do you have to kill all, like they didn't kill anybody in the Goonies, but death is
one movie,
like a subplot of the show, because remember in season 3 you had Max's brother die, Billy, and then in season 4 you had Eddie die, and because those two characters died, it carried plot points forward. Like Max would not be doing that floating scene without her brother Billy passing away, because she's sitting in front of his grave.
You had Barb in season 1, and then you had Bob in season 2, which was integral to Joyce's development throughout season 3 and then eventually 4, because of the whole Hopper and Joyce thing. She wasn't over Bob, and so like my thing with that was, I did find it weird if anybody was like making the case that one of the main people should die, because I was like, that's just cruel. Like the kid group, I agree that I don't think any of those kids should have died, because we literally kind of in a way grew up with those kids. We watched them grow up. Like that just,
I agree with that.
kind of cruel, but some of the ancillary characters, 100%. Why couldn't Jonathan or Nancy or somebody? Because when we got introduced to them, they were basically adults. So like, and honestly, I felt like they were leading to this entire season that Nancy was going to die, because I had this whole headcanon like, okay, so there's this triangle between Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve. Wouldn't it be ironic if neither one of them end up with her because she dies? And so I thought that's what was going to happen.
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. But
hey guys, who was Bob? I'm trying to remember Bob season 2.
Joyce's boyfriend. It was
it's Sean Astin.
Yeah, Sean Astin.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's, people always compare this show to like the Goonies, and that's fine and all, but I don't hear people comparing it to like Stand By Me enough, because Stand By Me has a lot more heart to it, and the kids are about the same age as these kids, maybe a little bit older.
There's a comment I really quickly want to address, because this person has said it a few times, asking me like, okay, but you're all right with 11 dying? Yes, because I feel like from the very beginning of the show, and it's been very clear throughout every season, she started this inadvertently, but she started it. And if Papa had to die, and if Hawkins' lab had to fall, and if the Upside Down in Dimension X had to be closed forever, and so these experiments could never continue, and we couldn't have this thing come back in 10 years. Guess what? We've got another telekinetic kid that we're making a bunch of more kids with, and we opened this portal again. She had to die. It was the ultimate sacrifice to say, this is over and done with. You'll never have to worry about this in your life again. So narratively, 100%, that makes complete sense. And I feel like any other ending for 11, as much as we might like happy endings, I do feel like would have sold the entire narrative of this story short, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I'm okay with Will not making it out too, because he has that really strong connection with Vecna. So you could explain it, that you could, what hurts Will hurts Vecna and vice versa kind of thing. So if we are going to take out one of our mains, it does seem, like if they have that tie to the, I guess he's not the big bad, but if they have the tie to Vecna, then they also need to go to just close the door on that character coming back. But I could see this show come back in like 10 years. I could see them doing. I was going to
ask you that. Do you think we'll get a season 6 eventually? Because the amount of, they're going to freaking, a cocaine pile of money will land on a desk somewhere. Somebody's going to say yes.
It doesn't even need to be the money, Lee. You could literally just say they'll be doing mountains of cocaine 10 years from now and be like, we should fucking bring back Stranger Things.
Well,
they're going to,
they're not going to come back.
The way they're going to do that is they're going to go, that ending for 11 was actually real. She did live. That's how they're going to do it.
That's how they're going to do it. That's why they left. Yeah, that's right. They left that morsel.
And if they're smart about it, well, what would be really cool? So you can skip ahead 10 years. You can go from 89 to 99. That explains the characters having grown up. They're a little bit, they're going to look more like the age that they're actually playing. You could do a friggin' like Y2K, Y2K Stranger Things.
Yeah,
and it could just be a 2-parter. That's what I think they should have done for season 5, because doesn't it feel like at the end of season 4 it's pretty much wrapped up? Like season 4 felt really definitive. Not all the loose ends, of course, but I felt like with season 5, if they didn't have an idea of how to make it, fulfill the runtime that they had, just to do like 2-3 hour movies, just like a part 1 and part 2. And just, consolidate that story. They could do something like that if they brought back the cast.
I'm calling it right now. They're going to let the show rest for 5 years. Because everybody's kind of like, okay, I got the high. I don't need another season right away. They're going to let it rest for 5 years. We're going to get Stranger Things 95. I guarantee that's going to happen. And by that time, everybody will be like begging for Stranger Things to come back. And everybody wants them to like go in the 90s, and go in the 2000s. And it's irresistible.
I think it depends on how the spinoff does, because they've announced a spinoff. They said it's not to do with any of the main characters or anything. So I think it will kind of depend on the success of the spinoffs. But I mean, the Duffers are going to be involved with those spinoffs as far as like being producers. But they're going on to do their own thing over at Paramount. So I guess
I'll just say this. You give me a season 6, 10, 15 years from now, I just want you to do one thing. Can you give me the fucking Thessal Hydra? Okay. Because you hinted at that for 5 seasons and then we didn't get the fucking Thessal Hydra. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, come on. And you could easily do that too. The Mind Flayer was defeated, but the Thessal Hydra is supposedly, I never played D&D, but that's the biggest bad. That's above the Mind Flayer.
Well, and that's what they use in the original episode. I think when he says the Mind Flayer, the little figurine that he has is the Thessal Hydra, is what they're using, and they're calling it the Mind Flayer or whatever. So yeah, there could be, and everyone says with all the dust coming out of the kids' lungs or whatever, that the Mind Flayer is technically out there. By the way, why are those kids still alive? Shouldn't there have been some sort of so they're all hooked up to this machine to fuel the Mind Flayer, right? Like it's not. It doesn't become a monster until it's absorbed enough energy from these kids. But when they unhook the kids are totally fine. Now, I'm not advocating for children to die or, in a show or otherwise, but come on. Some of them could have gone.
They're going to need therapy for the rest of their lives. Okay. Yeah. And if you've seen Fire in the Sky, it's sort of similar to what he went through in that movie. And you see how royally fucked up he was after.
That guy lives just like a couple hours north of me, like an hour and a half. He lives in Snowflake, Arizona. Yeah.
What's his name?
Travis.
The real guy.
Sweeney played the guy.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the actor.
No, I love DB Sweeney. Fucking Cutting Edge is amazing.
Cutting Edge.
Eight Men Out. Let's go. I can't remember Travis something. I can't remember his last name right now. Anyways. Yeah.
One thing I'll say about the Duffer Brothers that kind of inspired me, they're on the set. They got a crew of like freaking 100 people. They got $10,000 cameras. Everything's top of the line, right? $480 million budget, right? So, and I'm not trying to like name drop myself again, but just to get, I got a point here. I'm on set, season 2. I'm the only guy in front of the camera. All right. It's the double door scene. I got to chain the lock. It's right after the big showdown between 11 and whatever. And I'm nervous as hell. But what they're doing between the shots, they got the big $10,000 camera right there in front of me. But the Duffer Brothers, they won't be still. They're like all over the place. What do? They grab their iPhone and they plan out all their shots with their iPhone. Yeah. They don't even look at the camera that they're using. That's going to be the final picture. No, iPhone. They look at the iPhone. They're like pointing it at me. They go to the Jeep because I got to go get in the Jeep. They literally figured out what they wanted to do on at the moment. It wasn't like something that was pre-planned out. They were like, oh shit, what if we put the camera inside the Jeep and pull back as he gets in the Jeep? And they did all that with an iPhone. So I was like, oh, this is pretty damn cool. Like, if I wish everybody could be an extra, because they can kind of see how movies are made, and it's actually doable if you if you use every tool that you got at your disposal, even if it's your freaking iPhone.
Oh, so, Stephanie, if you watch season 2, you can't miss him, because that was
cameras right there.
I didn't notice him until after season 2. He was in season 1, but I remember when I watched season 2, I literally had a thought. I paused it and I said, dude, that's that Drum Dums guy. I know that's him. And then you had made a video about it on your channel, I think, at that time. And I was like, holy shit, it was him, but you can't miss him. He's right in front of a door. He opens a door wearing a military uniform, if I'm not mistakenly, right? Yep. In season 2. Yeah. And he's right there, right in camera.
I can tell you right now, I had to they had me lock the door, right? So they gave me this dummy lock, and they said, all you got to do, everything's like boom, 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 so I had to take the lock, put it over the chains, and so everything had to be in like a rhythm almost. And we had to do 8 takes, and because a couple of the takes, the lock wouldn't lock or something, and then I'd get even more nervous. So, but eventually, it went off without a hitch. But the camera's like right there, and I turn around and boom, the camera's right there. So this question that Beth's asking right here, I've never answered this. I'm going to answer it right now. Were you in the Jeep? Because what happens is I'm in front of the double doors. The camera pulls back. I walk. I get in the Jeep. I put my hat on. The Jeep drives away. You see what's the scientist guy's name that's in every season with the glasses? Murray. Yeah.
Murray.
So
yeah.
Murray's sitting there, and then you see Mike. It's my character flipping him off. That character flipping him off was not me. And I'm going to tell you why. They shot me on that one shot, and they wanted me for that shot, but they didn't get enough time to shoot it that day. So the very next day, I'm doing my thing. I'm back, because it was a 3-hour drive to get there. So I'm back in my hometown. Phone rings. I pick up the phone. We need you on set right now, like right now. And I'm like, well, what? And they're like, no, we seriously, where are you? We need you on set. I'm like, where am I? you guys released me yesterday, and they're like, somebody's getting fired. And then not me, but somebody's getting, because whoever was scheduling the scene, they forgot to tell me you need to be back the next day so you can flip off Murray. So they CGI'd. They did like a really quick CGI rush job on my face, flipping off the guy. So
they do a little face replacement.
They did a face replacement, and I hate that I was like, fuck. I wanted to complete the scene, and plus it was like the coolest moment. I get to flip off Murray, but
you had a face replacement scene even before Michael B. Jordan. That's amazing.
I did,
because I think that's how they did Sinners. His face replacement. That's pretty odd. It's a little bit of a Drum Dums trivia there for all the folks.
I've never shared that story until this very moment. So now you guys know that was not me flipping. And it hurts me to tell people that's
but it's
not
your
me.
character, so you can
it's still my
claim,
character. Yeah,
you can claim some ownership over it, though. You could be like, yeah, that's my character. Unfortunately, I had to be somewhere else because I was working on another picture.
Yeah.
It was very big.
I gave
Did
myself
your
a name.
Character have a name? Yeah, I was gonna say
it didn't have a name, but I gave myself a name. My name is McCready.
Oh, okay.
McCready, there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
I had to give that is McCready. So yeah, just so you guys know, that's the name I gave my character, McCready.
Did you say Drum Dum out every day at the end of shooing? Were you like, make sure to follow me on Killer Flicks where we talk horror every day? Drum Dum out.
did you know, season 1 when I did that, I had 200 subscribers. I was nothing.
Oh wow.
At the time, yeah. And I wasn't even like serious about my channel. I mean, yeah, I guess I was serious because it's making content, but I didn't think my channel would grow at all. So I was just kind of like, I'm just doing this extra work. And so by the time season like 3 or 4 came around, my channel started getting some growth. And then people started, I'd get messages from people all the time saying, hey, were you in Stranger Things? Because they'd see me. And I'd be like, yep, I was.
That's way too cool, man.
Yeah. All right. Enough freaking stroking myself off. Okay. Scream 7.
Come on.
Right?
Let me brag about myself. No,
you got to do it every now and then, though, right? Yeah. Scream 7. Guys, do you think we're going to get a trailer?
Tomorrow. Yep.
You think it's coming tomorrow?
Yep. Yeah.
Why they put out a TV spot?
Better.
Well, the rumor was that they thought it was going to drop near the end of the year, and then it didn't happen. And as you can tell, I think the last 2 days we've had a drop of something. We had a TV spot, then we had a poster, and so all of the belief is that the trailer comes out tomorrow. I don't know if that's because it's going to play in front of the Bone Temple. It very well may be playing in front of the Bone Temple, and that's why they're doing it. But yeah, all signs point to the final trailer being tomorrow. So
Kevin Munn says he's not seeing Scream 7. I'm gonna guess, and Kevin, am I right on this? Is it probably because of the Melissa Barrera thing? And that's fine if you don't want to see the movie because of it. What does break my heart though is if like you're a massive Scream fan, and you like really want to see the movie. That kind of breaks my heart for you, Kevin. But if you don't really care about Scream, then I guess it's no biggie. But you know what? I gotta say, it's cool that that's your cause. You're standing up for Melissa Barrera, if that's what you're doing. That's such a touchy subject, like boycotting movies because of X or Y. Like, guys, do you have I guess for me, I'll say this right now. All right. I don't judge anybody for their decision on watching a show or not. I don't say to them, oh, you're going to watch this. You should not watch this because you need to support Melissa Barrera. I don't do that. But I have my own personal things. And I think if something like affects me, like I'll say this right now, Jeepers Creepers. When I first saw Jeepers Creepers, I didn't know about Victor Salva.
Yep. And
I never really consciously said to myself, I'm never watching that again. But I've never had the desire to watch Jeepers Creepers again because for some reason that thought is in my head and it just kind of, I guess it affects me. And I feel like I got other things I'd rather watch than that. But I don't, Jeepers Creepers is a great movie. If people want to watch it, that's awesome. What I have a problem with though, is when people not only like chastise people for watching something, but also like spoil it. Like that's the constant thing with Scream these days. That drives me fucking nuts. How people want to ruin somebody else's good time,
I
love
don't
Melissa.
shame anybody for wanting to see
Yeah.
it, and I don't shame anybody for not wanting to see it.
Exactly.
My only thing is I just expect the same energy from everybody else, and sadly, that's not what you get. This is a hot button issue for a lot of people, and they want to make sure not all of them. They're like Captain Rhodes here in the chat. Captain Rhodes is great, like totally respectful about it. But there's some people that are like, now you're a piece of shit for wanting to go see it, and it's like, no, I love Ghostface and Sidney Prescott and stuff. Like that's what I'm here for. As much as I loved Scream 6, and I actually really did, and I see that that's aging worse with time for a lot of people. Not for me. That movie was just an adrenaline rush for me.
Yeah.
But I can't lie, it doesn't feel the same. You go back and rewatch that movie, and there's just something missing. And as much as people want to complain about, oh my God, do we need another Scream movie with Neve Campbell? Yeah, I think you do.
You kind of do.
I think
he
you
is
do.
like the big draw, She's Sidney fucking Prescott.
Yeah, so. since Scream 5 and 6 are the worst in the franchise, now not terrible films, but I do think they're the worst.
Yeah.
And I think what it is, like for 6, the big thing for me, Nick, is just that ending. It gets really bad. And then I was totally distracted. Like once we get our Ghostface reveal in Scream 6, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then I couldn't enjoy the rest of the movie, really.
But I will say I loved one aspect of the reveal. I did not see Quinn coming. I actually thought she was dead. So when she revealed herself, I was like, oh shit, 3 killers and one of them's her. Okay, that's kind of cool. And she, of all of them, she really hammed it up. And I loved her performance in that. Ethan, I could care less. That dude sucked.
Yeah.
But like she was really hamming it up, and like when they're talking shit to her to piss her off, I dug that moment. Like I was like, okay, Quinn, of all of them, I kind of like her as the killer. But same thing with 5. I agree with you. The reveals for both of them, I feel like, were largely lackluster. I liked the moment that Amber reveals herself by shooting, I think her name's Olivia, in the head. Like I did like that moment.
I like that. That's a good reveal.
It's like that was the peak, and then it kind of went down. And same thing with 6. Like, you have Quinn take off the mask, and I'm like, oh, cool. But then it's like, I don't know. It's just they need to get back to, if nothing else, Scream 7 better have a truly balls to the wall third act, in a sense of like the reveal is somewhat surprising, or the motivation makes sense. Personally, I hope there's DNA and ties back to the OG movie. Like that's what I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
You guys know what I want. You know what I want. I'm not even gonna.
I know. I pissed off some
I don't
dude.
want to say it because I don't want to jinx it. I just want it to happen so fucking bad, though.
You also got to watch about saying it, because you will piss people off, which is weird. I don't know why they care so much.
That's kind of weird to me. Like the psychology of that.
Dude, some guy commented on my video last week and was like, bro, shut up about Stu. He's
I get
dead.
so mad.
And I was like,
get it.
I said, bro, did you even watch the first 2 minutes of the video? That's the first thing I addressed. And I said, I don't think he's alive. Like, he's like, no, I didn't watch it because I saw in the title. And I'm like, oh God, so you just took the bait and now you look ignorant. Like,
I would
sir,
get it
you
if
don't
somebody
vote,
put,
do you?
If somebody put a hand grenade in his mouth and his head blew off. Okay, yeah, you're right. He's not coming back. But there's a 1%, maybe 2% chance that he could live and be fine with a TV falling on his head. Yeah, he was stabbed in the side, but I just don't understand the anger. People get angry if you say, I want Stu to live. That's my simple sentence. I just want Stu to live and be a major part of, I mean,
because Lee, don't you get it? Scream has always been grounded in reality. They have never stretched the bounds of realism in Scream, not once. No character has ever had plot armor. And for you to try to make the case for Stu too, well, that just doesn't fit with Scream. And I'm obviously being sarcastic.
Let me ask you guys this question right here. It has
been relatively grounded, but yes, not.
Let's say Stu is the big reveal at the end of the movie, and I've made a prediction here. People that don't want Stu to be alive, if that happens, they might rejoice even louder than people that do want him to be alive. And they just don't know it yet. But I think if they pull it off right, if the story's there, if that happens, I think, but it could go the other way. It could divide the internet. Not that Scream doesn't divide the internet anyway.
No, these people are going to dunk on everybody. They're going to
go crazy, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they're going to dunk. But to your point, Davey, I will say, I think the shark started to get jumped with Scream too, because I'm sorry, Dewey would be fucking dead. Like,
Yeah,
Dewey
probably.
would be deader than shit.
My friends and I used to joke about that. Like after we all went and saw Scream 2 opening night, and then we're like, what in the next movie is he going to be like attached to a skateboard, like pushing himself
that's your
around?
point right there too. You're talking about Stu being alive, but you got Stu that's been stabbed 18 times. You got Chad that's been stabbed 18 times in the chest. But this is like the franchise that's based in reality, that suspension of disbelief is way out the fucking window. But for some reason, that particular thing, and how many times has Dewey been saved now? He gets stabbed in every fucking movie.
It's a fucking slasher movie. Let me have fun.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, are we making Citizen Kane? Oh, I forgot.
Well, and they do it in another way too, because even in like, in Scream 6, when when there is like the fake out Quinn death, you're telling me all the police show up and like there's just some random body there that totally like checks out. Like, so yes, they do things that are out there and don't make sense. They may not be as wild or as supernatural as like, we've seen a lot of shit in Friday the 13th and Halloween and A Nightmare on Elm Street. So yes, Scream is more so than those, but it's still a bunch of silly ass movies.
It's slashers as a whole, bro. Any slasher that goes on for decades and decades starts to get a little long in the tooth. They have to reinvent themselves in some way. Who cares?
Even Sydney's weird dreams in season 2 in the third one.
Ghost Mom is the shit. All right.
Yeah.
Ghost Mom.
That was it's actually freaky. It's fucking freaky, dude.
It is freaky, but it's also like, now that you look at that they have 6 movies, you're like, whoa, that's a weird scene.
Oh yeah. It doesn't fit at all.
And
then it was really
like
weird.
A motherfucker.
It was weird when Sydney's mom's ghost went and like fucked every other dude ghost that was hanging out in the area. She just couldn't let it go. Maureen just couldn't let it go.
No.
Hollywood, I did say I didn't say 200 pounds, but I did. It's a CRT TV. It might weigh more than 200 pounds, but depending on where that's the thing. The camera did not go under the TV and show his face looking like squash. You didn't see that. So because you didn't see that, then there's the possibility.
Lee, all you ever have to go back to is that, and I know my opinion on this is that Stu is not going to be alive in this movie. As much as I want him to be, that is my opinion, guys. However, I just go back to what Kevin Williamson initially had planned, and that was that he was alive, and he was the mastermind behind all of it. So if the guy that created Scream, because everybody wants to laud praise on Wes Craven, love Wes Craven, but let's be real, Scream is Scream largely because of Kevin Williamson. If he's the one that's like, well, I was going to bring Stu back, and he was going to be the mastermind behind all of it, if he ever wanted to do that, if anyone can make a believable case for that, it's Kevin Williamson.
It's Kevin Williamson. Here's the thing, too. If they make Stu the killer, T-minus 2 seconds after the credits start rolling, everybody will be running out of the theater with their phones in their hands going, Stu is the killer, because they're just going to be so excited. Like they won't even be able to believe, like, holy shit, they made Stu the freaking, the big killer at the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. And there's no way people could keep that a secret. I think that's why they won't do that, because I think it'll be spoiled within 2 seconds,
So what do you guys think? So in this TV spot, when they're showing the psychiatric hospital and you see Sydney and Gail in there and those drawings and everything, like so let's just go ahead and say that Stu isn't alive. How does all of that tie to the story in Scream 7?
Leslie Mocker. It's Leslie. It has something to do with Leslie Mocker, his sister. So
she's in the hospital, either a doctor or a patient.
I don't know. But if I had to guess, I have to imagine it goes back to the Mockers. And we've had name drops of Leslie. We had her son in Scream 5. I do believe that this is going to, and there's a line in that TV spot that it's something along the lines of like, I've waited something like waiting a long time for this or something like that. Like, I can't remember. I'd have to watch the TV spot again, but I do believe that maybe Leslie's the killer. Maybe she's, I don't know, but Leslie Mocker's going to factor into the story. I think she wants revenge for what happened to Stu personally.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, because they go to that hospital. So I'm like, are they doing the whole Stu's alive and he's going to help them catch the new ghost face, like, like Hannibal Lecter or something like that? Or what kind of direction are they going here? Because I don't want.
That would be kind of gnarly.
Yeah, because I'm thinking they've got to find some way to explain why they're in this hospital. There has to be some sort of significance. So yeah, You know, maybe it is. If it's not Stu, maybe it is Leslie in there.
You guys want to watch this real quick?
Yeah, because I think I'm totally misquoting that, but I feel like there was a line something like that in this.
Let's see. Hold on.
Hello?
Do you like scary movies? Surprise, Sydney.
Oh, he's dead.
They're not shy about that. Yeah, this fucking character is dead.
Fuck
Goodbye.
that guy. Like, yeah, there's no way.
I've been planning this for a long
Wow.
time. Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started.
If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
That's going to be your finale until you're here to see it. So he's going to, I think there's going to be a couple of chases, but he's not going to mean to kill her, you know? And I think there's the big showdown at the end is Sydney's got to save her daughter. I think that's what's going to be the big showdown at the end. But let's say Stu's not the killer. I mean, this is number 7. They're bringing they're bringing Sydney back in a big way. You know that Kevin Williamson, he didn't write it, but he's directing it. So I got a feeling this third act's going to be one of the best third acts probably since Scream 2.
He did. So
Roman was a good third. I always said, because Scream 3, I have major problems with that movie, but it's saved by the Roman
Great third act. That third act. Yeah.
So
and Kevin did. So Guy Busick wrote the original script. Kevin went through and put his own stamp on it because he is being credited as one of the writers.
And they had to do rewrites
that.
Anyway. Yeah, because Sam and Tara were in it initially, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah. So at first he didn't have a credit, but now he's sharing that writing credit.
I think this is the opening scene right here. Do they have the balls? I mean,
one of them's gonna die. One of them's gonna die.
Disrespect. Yeah, that's how you do it, Nick. You're right. You can have this as the opening scene, and one of them is gonna die. I think that's
I think the opening scene is gonna be Stu's house that we see in that first trailer. I do think that's gonna be the opening, but I personally think one of them's gonna die here, and that's gonna bring the other one to where Sydney is.
Yes.
That's what I think is gonna happen. One of them is toast. I really
Bye, Mindy.
think so. I hope it's
Man,
Mindy.
I can't wait. Hopefully that trailer drops.
I love Chad. I fucking love Chad. I don't care what anybody says. I love Chad.
I love Chad too. And there's a shot in that original trailer where Chad is like getting out of the car with Gail when they go to meet Sydney, and you don't see Mindy there. So.
See the pieces. Scream fans, man, I tell you, they pick up on everything.
I'm a nerd.
You're a nerd.
Bye, Mindy.
I just pick up the phone and I call Davey. Davey, give me the scoop. What happened in that trailer?
What did your weird ass brain see when you watched that at quarter speed?
Dude, we're a month away.
Shit that I don't see.
We're a month away. That's fucking awesome, bro.
Dude, I'm excited,
I
man.
can't wait. And this poster they released today, way better than 6's. Way better.
Yeah, it's a good floating head poster.
Yes. The floating head poster for 6 was dog shit. I hated like the streaks of like what looked like graffiti.
Yeah,
this
whatever
is actually,
it was.
I like this poster.
Man, I mean, you know what? As much shit as I give Scream, because I have bits about Scream on my channel, anytime there's a new Scream movie, I am over the moon. But like, I've been spoiled for the last movie, and somebody tried to spoil this one for me, but I don't think it's the truth. Like, I feel like they're holding the true script close to the chest. I hope. I don't know, but. That's the thing that drives me crazy about Scream, though. Is like I can never make it to the finish line. I can never get there to release day not knowing something. That's what drives me crazy about fandom.
I've lucked out. I haven't had any weird shit spoiled for me. So thank goodness on that. And I am looking forward to this one.
No.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know why they come after me every time. Jesus. I should never post on X. I think that's my problem. I post something on X and somebody gets pissed off at me for my opinion, and then I can't get away from it.
Well, you've been doing it for a while, so they're coming after you.
I need to
like, how can I ruin Lee's day? They're like, he's a shill anyway, so he already
because I'm saying this right now. They're on X right now. Oh yeah, motherfucker.
Like Lee, you just like everything.
Yeah,
you're never careful.
No. I do, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's like, 5 and 6, I don't think are terrible movies or anything, but as far as like, I was coming of age when these movies came out. I would think I was 14 when the first one came out. So it would be really cool to give us something that surprises us, like surprise the longtime fans, maybe bring in some people that have been talking shit saying the movies are the same thing every time. Let's put that to bed a little bit, but still give us everything we love about the franchise. I'm pumped. I think it looks really good. Kevin looks like he's directed the hell out of this thing. So
they didn't really give too much away in that first trailer. So this next trailer could be like really like this next trailer is going to get everybody pumped, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
can't wait for it to get review bombed too by like 100 people.
Oh, sure, of course.
Oh yeah.
For all sorts of weird reasons, I'm sure.
Let me ask you guys this, since we're getting close to quitting time here, but 2026 besides Scream, can you give me like 3 movies that you guys are both like really, really looking forward to? I guess I'll start with you, Nick. Are there 3 movies on your mind right now that you've been like, damn, I can't wait? And it would be kind of cool if one of them like you kind of just discovered and you're like, oh shit, that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, so I actually did a video on this like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I'm trying to remember. And there was a couple that I was like, holy shit, like I had no idea that this was coming out. So obviously you said that's not Scream 6. I'm going to have to go to Google. One of them is Ebenezer, the Ty West directed Johnny Depp movie that's coming out that I'm actually really Christmas
Never
Carol.
even heard of it.
Yeah, really excited for that. I'm obviously Evil Dead Burn. I'm cautiously optimistic about that because
Davey's not looking forward to that one at all.
Here's my thing with it is that Evil Dead is pretty much it's perfect franchise for me. At the worst, the worst movie is good. But I'm also annoyed that we can't get a true sequel ever to any of these movies these days. Now with Evil Dead, it's just like new side story. I'm like, fucking come on.
I just ordered Evil Dead Rise, the Arrow release. I just pulled the trigger today because it's like $25. I had to get that. And
then I'll say Ready or Not 2, but I'll also throw in, and some people were like, what about Terrifier 4? We don't have a release date yet. They haven't even started shooting that thing yet, as much as I hope it comes out this fall.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the list.
I mean,
I don't think it's coming out.
But I'm going to throw in Scary Movie 6, dude. I really am.
Wow,
we need raunchy comedies
Davey's
to return.
really looking forward to that one.
Bro, Scary Movie 1 and 2, I fucking adore. And if nothing else, I just want to see like raunchy comedies like that return again. Like I would really like to see that.
Davey, what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, so I am looking very much forward to Hokum. That's like the one that's on my radar. Really like the Damian McCarthy style. I like a smaller story, like smaller scope, and the imagery that's being used in the film really creeps the hell out of me.
Yeah, he directed Oddity, didn't he?
Yeah, Oddity and Caveat, and that whole like ping pong ball eyes thing with the like the rabbit outfit or what. There's some weird, creepy cosplay stuff going on.
Yeah,
I'm very curious because I love a good folklore story, and I do really like that kind of slow burn, taking its time, just unsettling imagery. I kind of like that vein of horror as well. I mean, I'm an Oz Perkins fan, so similar like to that kind of vibe, you know. So yeah, Hokum, I would say. Ready or Not 2 does look really fun. I'm hoping that the families can actually go after each other too. I'm hoping that's another element that they add in there. So it is just kind of a free for all, like capture the flag kind of thing. Evil Dead Burn, obviously. My favorite horror franchise. And I hear you, Nick, but I think that telling these, like having it be an anthology style where you can go anywhere on Earth and pick any time would be really cool. And it doesn't mean that we can't have crossover. I want Jane Levy back.
That's my thing. I said in my video, long as they're building this out to eventually bring it together, I'm cool with it. But
it would, and you would hope that since we have 3 volumes of the book and we've seen all of them, at some point we're going to see a repeat of one of these 3 volumes, and that will open up the possibility. Because that would be a lot of fun. And then I mean Terrifier 4 if it happens to come out, but I think a Werewolf by Robert Eggers
Mhm.
Yeah,
really looking
definitely.
forward to that. I think I've really been, you know, Aaron Taylor Johnson is an actor that like I really got brought around on. I didn't like him at
Yeah,
all
I
in
like him too.
Godzilla. I really didn't like him in Age of Ultron either. But then I saw him in, you know, I thought he was the best performer in Nosferatu. I think he
Yeah.
had the toughest job and knocked it
Bullet
out of the
Train.
park.
He
Yeah,
was great
so
in 28 Years Later. He was great.
Yeah, he was great.
yeah, I wanted
watched
more
a
of
movie
him
with
in
him
that
last
movie.
night. Have you seen Nocturnal Animals
No.
Ooh, no, I
with
haven't.
Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal? He
I've
plays
heard
a
of that.
bad
That's like
guy.
super sexy movie, isn't it? Lee, what are you watching without me, bud?
Oh, you
Come
know.
on.
But-
Give me
I've
a
been
call, brother.
I've been watching some movies lately. I've been watching
Yeah.
Giallo movies.
You want to watch
watched,
some Nocturnal Animals?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It is a sexy movie, but he's a bad guy in it, and he's really
Okay.
good. Yeah, he's
Yeah. So
yeah. There's definitely some SA in it for sure.
oh
But
shoot. Well,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking very much forward to Werewolf because while I thought that Nosferatu was a beautiful like technical achievement, I've seen and heard that story so many times that I think I will find Werewolf to be like a little more refreshing because I've never really done the deep dive into like all of the werewolf horror movies. So yeah, there we go. That's
I
my
watched
roundabout list.
1971, The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. It's a Giallo movie. I just watched that the
Mm.
other day. It should be called Nudity the Movie.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I mean, there's like sex
Nudity the
scenes
movie.
all over the place. Even if there's not sex scenes, you got naked women running across a field. It's just everything. It's just
What's
like,
this
oh,
movie
wow.
called? Evelyn
Yeah,
was something.
The Night
something.
Evelyn Came Out of the Grave.
All right. I've
But-
been watching a lot of movies too. So first time watches like the subspecies movies. I've been going through those.
Mhm.
Oh my god, Kingdom of the Spiders with William Shatner.
Oh,
that was
dude,
filmed,
that movie
like,
gave me nightmares.
it was filmed like 2 hours away from where I live, so it's been amazing. I've been watching movies with a lady, guys.
Ooh,
It's amazing.
what?
Yeah, with a lady.
This is big.
Yeah, I'm really
You got
excited
you
about
got a
it.
girlfriend? Is that what you're
I
saying?
thought I was all like shut off and everything like that, and yeah, I don't know. I met somebody. It's like a long distance thing, but I met somebody like through the community, and I was like, oh my god,
Nice. I'm
totally
happy for you,
have
man.
a
That's
huge
great.
crush
Oh,
on
yeah.
this girl.
Hell
I
yeah.
thought you
So-
said a lady.
A lady. No, but so
With the hand.
but a lady. No, it's a true lady. It's a true lady.
Two ladies.
But we've been watching a lot of movies that neither one of us have seen for the first time. So it's
That's
been really
great.
cool.
That's
to
a
just-
fun thing. You know, like when me and my wife first got together, we'd have e-money and we would go to this like cheap rental, video rental place, and they were dollar rentals. And we would we would like randomly pick movies we'd never seen. And that's how
Yeah.
I kind of built my movie vocabulary, is because I just would rent all these movies I'd never like Wanted Dead or Alive with Rutger Hauer, stuff that I would never even think to do because we were just bored and
Yeah.
we would just watch all these movies. But have you guys heard of a movie called Whistle? That's a new movie coming
Yes.
out. IFC.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
Yeah.
No.
This one I'm interested in this one. It does have that whole like walking sim, spiritual or cursed object kind of thing. But I do think what's her name? Daphne Keane, the girl from Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
really she's so solid.
Yeah. Let's watch this trailer real quick.
All right.
Yeah, because Nick hasn't seen the trailer yet. Nick, I think you're gonna like this.
No,
Let's
but I
bump up.
can whistle.
Okay, well, you can whistle
do
through
this.
this trailer.
I can whistle too.
It's like the premise is anytime you hear, you're fucked. Okay, so somebody came into a boardroom and that was their idea. Okay, so here we go. That's how these
We
ideas
will
start.
have grief counselors available if any student needs someone to talk to.
What the fuck?
You're the new girl?
Is that a part? No.
Can you translate any of it?
To talk, it can also mean to
Summon the dead.
go for
That
it,
should
babe.
look familiar.
I dare you.
I think I'm gonna pass on the whole ghost summoning death whistle.
Listen, you guys hear that?
day you are born, so is your death. If you hear the whistle scream, dying is not a choice.
Hello? We were told the markings said, summon the dead.
The markings read, summon your death.
Our future death is hunting us. We need to find a way to stop it.
Death is unstoppable.
I'm not letting it get you.
You're running out of time.
What if I don't want to die?
Then you shouldn't have been born.
Man, that was a long trailer.
It's a long
right there.
trailer. 2 minutes and 31 seconds. They pretty much give you the whole movie too. What'd you think, Nick?
I mean, it looks like visually, it looks like it might have some creepy imagery in it and whatnot. My only thing is, I feel like I saw somebody say it in the chat, and I thought the same thing. Like, Smile, Truth or Dare. You know, it gives those kind of vibes where I'm like, I feel like I've seen movies like this. So, like, we'll see. And also, when I saw from the director of The Nun, I went, oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
One thing that gives me hope though is that it's
well-done
IFC.
trailer.
Like, it's not Blumhouse, it's IFC, and I do like IFC. They don't always land, but they're kind of like the low rent neon A24. That's what IFC is. But so every now and then they surprise you with something really good. So yeah,
it's a good trailer.
It's definitely got that, you know, walking sim kind of J horror kind of feel for sure.
Yeah. Favorite movie composers, I'll say John Carpenter and Goblin. What about you, Davey?
Ennio Morricone.
Yep.
And golly, I guess John Carpenter. Why not?
That's a safe bet. Nick?
Trying to think of other composers just on the fly. Oh, I do really like
Disaster Piece.
I like I think it's John Harris. He did like the Day of the Dead soundtrack. He directed a bunch of those creep show TV shows. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite one of all time is probably John Williams, but one that I don't think it's talked about enough is Christopher Young. I really like
Christopher Young's great.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. This was a really great episode. You guys made this easy. You made this so easy. Davey, what do you got coming up?
So I've got I just released, you know, like my top 10 horror of 2025. I think that was on like Friday morning. I dropped that. I did dive in and do like a slow-mo breakdown of that Scream 7 TV spot. So if you're interested in seeing what I have to say about that, you can check me out there. But really the big thing is going to be on Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do part 1 of our fan-made Choose Your Own Adventure Stranger Things finale rewrite. So I have a whole bunch of polls on the community tab, so you can vote in those polls. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that information and what you guys decided, and we're going to have live polls for the audience as we do our writing. So it's going to be totally like audience driven, and you know, it's just going to be popular vote is going to have the say, and we'll have some fun. So that's what I got.
Gaz, I think I just heard yesterday that Crystal Lake is supposed to come out in December. That's when it's supposed to air.
What?
Yeah.
December.
Let me do some digging, but I could have sworn I saw, or maybe somebody sent me, I got something that it's supposed to come out in December.
No, please. So, they should do it in November because there's a Friday the 13th in November.
You would think, right? You would
Don't fuck this up, A24, Peacock. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, at the very least, we should see like a poster or something. Just get us a poster by February or March. Both have Friday the 13th. Just get us a poster, guys. Come on.
I'm pumped. I'm really looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, I just did a Friday the 13th episode with Storybreakers, Chris Brennan. and that episode is going to drop on February 13th. And I don't want to spoil anything, but we literally come up with like a sequel idea on the fly. The rule is you can't have anything in your head before. You just sit down and both of you start talking. And we came up with a really cool sequel idea. So that's coming. You know what? Fuck it. I'll tell you guys right now. The title I'll just tell you the title. The title is called Jason Begins. That's the title.
All right.
Okay? That should give you an idea, but we came up with some really cool ideas. So that's coming February 13th. So Nick, what do you got coming?
I have no idea. No, I really don't, but tomorrow I'll have a review out for the Bone Temple. I'll go see that tomorrow after work. I'm not elated, about going to see it because I've been pretty public about my thoughts on 28 Years Later. The first half of that movie, I loved. The second half, I thought completely lost all momentum. But hearing really good things about this one. So I'm going to, I'm excited. Maybe the fact that it's a different director. I just don't know if Danny Boyle's style is really my thing. So stylistically, maybe this might be better. So I'll see that tomorrow. I'll have a review out for it. And then I'll just kind of play it by ear from there. Normally what I do, I've been kind of slacking lately, and that's just been because of, trying to get stuff in order, obviously, with my health. And also January, I mean, it's a weird month a lot of times on YouTube, man. It really is. So it's a grind at times, and sometimes it's a dead month. It is for movies coming out a lot of the time. So you're just kind of like, shit, what am I going to do today? But we got 2 bangers coming. Hopefully, we've got 28 Years tomorrow, and we've got Return to Silent Hill next week. So,
dude, I'm hearing there's like 7 big horror releases coming this month. Now, I don't know if they're big, but they're like possibly really good horror movies. One of them's Primates already came out, which I loved. But this might be the best January, maybe ever, for horror that we've ever had, as far as like quality and quantity.
That Night Patrol movie looks like it could be pretty fun.
Yeah, that's one of them that's coming too, and it's like a vampire cop movie. That looks pretty cool.
A little bit.
Yeah,
dude, it's
out.
crazy. You were saying January can be weird. This has been like the best month I've ever had on the channel so far.
It's you're doing great. Stranger Things,
it's been nuts.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Christian, I've been talking about it too. Christian was actually texting me earlier. He's like, bro, this month has fucking sucked. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it ebbs and flows, man. That's YouTube. So,
boy, Christian, man, he freaking puts the pedal to the metal, though. I mean, I'm like, God, man, he puts out a video every day, and he puts out like a couple of shorts every day, and he's really great at video. We've talked about this before, but his video titles, God damn it, son of a bitch, man, he makes me click on his damn video every goddamn time, man, because I'm like, God damn, what movie is he talking about? Shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Changeling. I clicked on this for the Changeling. God, you son of a bitch.
Is he talking about how Black Phone 2 is better than the original? Dude.
Hey, I get to see that for the first time in 3 days when it's on Peacock. I'm excited.
There you go. He's got some
Christian.
hot takes.
I was like, Christian, I love you, but
is it though? He'll always end his short with, and I gotta admit, it's my favorite of the bunch. And then he like jumps off.
I love it. I love it. If I ever am looking for somebody to watch Takes Manhattan with, I know who I can reach out to.
Oh yeah, he loves Manhattan. I like Manhattan too, though. That's a good one. So.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. I've been doing the end of year list. I'm about to wrap those up. I got the non-horror most disappointed. That's going to be a good one, guys. You're going to want to check that one out. I'm going to piss off a lot of you on that one. And I got Bone Temple tomorrow. I'm going to go see that in Dolby. So I'm try to get my review out for that tomorrow. And then outside of that, just business as usual. I don't know what else, but yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap this one up. But man, guys, you guys made this really fun. We're gonna try not to make this 2 months for the next time. Okay. I would like to do this again, maybe every 2 weeks, something like that.
I will too. Yeah.
We'll get back to it, guys.
I'm glad we're in 2026. We didn't say that, but I'm really happy 2026 is here. And you know what? I want all 3 of us to fucking thrive this year. If we let's help each other out. Let's just thrive this year, okay?
Yes.
We can run over some people.
I set the loftiest goals. I won't even voice what my lofty goals were, but it felt like a struggle to get to 2K, which I hit in November, and then today I just passed 2,500. So I'm like,
dude,
all right,
it happens
go.
like that sometimes. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
All
hell
right,
yeah,
guys.
man.
Everybody have a good night. We love you guys. Mwah.